What if everything you know about reality is backwards? What if the world you see out there is actually being projected from within? Most people are living in reaction mode, thinking that life happens to them, not realizing they're the ones shaping it moment by moment. That's the trap. We're raised to believe in a fixed world made of facts, but the truth is, it's made of perception, and that perception is fueled by something far more powerful than thought. Consciousness. Not the kind you turn on with coffee, but the deep, silent awareness that's been with you since before memory. Here's the uncomfortable part. Your life right now is a reflection of what you've accepted as true. The pain, the success, the limits, all of it. But here's the good news. If you created this version of reality unconsciously, imagine what happens when you become conscious of it. You don't have to wait decades to feel this shift. In fact, once you start seeing through the illusion, things can start moving fast. Reality bends, synchronicities multiply, old blocks dissolve. In this video, we're going to flip the script, not just with ideas, but with realizations that hit you right in the gut and wake something up that's been buried under years of noise. Ready? 1. Consciousness is not inside the brain. Most people grow up believing that the mind is locked away inside the brain, like some tiny control room behind the eyes. But here's the twist. What if it's the other way around? Consciousness isn't hiding in your head. It's the space where your brain, your thoughts, and even your entire life show up. It's like saying the TV is creating the show you're watching, when in truth, it's just receiving a broadcast. Think about those moments when you suddenly know something before your brain has time to process it, like when a mother senses something is wrong with her child from miles away. That's not thought. That's awareness tuning in. Consciousness is a field, not a function. The brain's more like a radio that picks up certain stations, but it doesn't invent the music. Even science is starting to question the old story. Near-death experiences, quantum physics, and studies on non-local awareness all poke holes in the idea that thoughts come from gray matter alone. And hey, ever tried meditating and suddenly felt like you weren't inside your body anymore? That's not your imagination. That's a crack in the illusion. When someone realizes they're not in the body, but the body is in them, something big starts to shift. It's like waking up inside a dream and seeing that the dream isn't separate from you at all. And once this realization kicks in, your entire perception begins to bend, setting the stage for a much deeper understanding of how the world really forms around you. 2. Perception gives form to the world. Before anything had a name, everything was just vibration, raw, unfiltered energy. But the moment we give it a label, tree, rock, cloud, it solidifies in our mind as something real. Perception is what molds that energy into familiar shapes. What you see isn't the world as it is. It's the world as your mind has trained you to see. It's all filtered through your memories, beliefs, and expectations. Imagine two people walking through the same forest. One sees peace, beauty, and connection. The other sees danger, isolation, and darkness. Same trees, same path, different internal filters. That's perception in action. Your consciousness doesn't just passively observe, it actively interprets. And your interpretation becomes your experience. It's like a projector casting a film onto the screen of reality. If the lens is dusty with fear, doubt, or trauma, the image gets distorted. Clean the lens through meditation, breathwork, or even journaling, and suddenly the picture changes. Things feel lighter. You're not changing the world, you're changing how you see it, which in turn changes how it shows up. This is where it gets wild. If perception shapes your world, then nothing is fixed. That rock you thought was solid, just energy appearing in a form you're used to. And if form is fluid, then reality isn't something you stumble into. It's something you're unconsciously creating all the time, setting up the perfect foundation to explore what those creations are really made of. 3. Reality is made of stories, not things. We're raised to believe the world is built on hard facts: money, borders, time, hierarchy. But none of these exist outside human agreement. $100 bill is just paper unless people believe it has value. Reality, as most know it, is a collection of shared stories that we've repeated so often we forget they're stories at all. Consciousness accepts these scripts and plays them out like a movie. Take time, for instance. There's no clock ticking in the sky. Time zones, calendars, even Monday blues, it's all made up. And yet, these ideas shape our entire lives. From what time we wake up to how long we think we have left to make it, most people don't question these narratives. They just live inside them, assuming they're real. But what happens when you stop buying the script? Try this. Take one belief you've never questioned, like success means working hard, and ask yourself, who taught you that? Where did it come from? Is it true, or just a story passed down? That simple act opens a crack in the wall. Through that crack, consciousness starts to peek out and question what else might not be as solid as it seemed. The power of collective belief can build empires or destroy them. It's not the thing itself that holds weight, it's how many minds believe in it. The same way a dream feels real while you're in it, these stories feel like truth, until your awareness starts poking at the edges and finds something deeper underneath. 4. The mind is a hologram of the universe. There's a theory from neuroscience that says the brain works like a hologram, each part containing the whole pattern. If that's true, then every person carries the blueprint of the entire universe inside them. Crazy, right? But when you think about it, it lines up with what ancient wisdom has said for centuries. You're not just a speck in the cosmos. You are the cosmos, looking at itself through human eyes. Ever stared at the night sky and felt like something out there was also inside you? That's not poetry. That's consciousness recognizing itself. You're not separate from the stars, the trees, or the silence between heartbeats. Your awareness is constantly exchanging information with the entire field of existence, like Wi-Fi picking up signals from all directions. You want proof? Think about synchronicities, those weird, perfect timing moments that feel too intentional to be coincidence. Like thinking of a friend right before they text you. That's your inner universe syncing with the outer one. Try tracking those moments in a notebook. The more aware you are, the more they show up. That's not chance, that's resonance. The real kicker. If every part contains the whole, then you're walking around with access to the same creative power that formed galaxies. But most people never realize it because they're stuck thinking they're just a mind in a body. Once you get that you're a holographic expression of consciousness itself, the game starts to change, and so does your identity. 5. You are not the self. You are the awareness. What most people call self is just a character in a very convincing play. Your name, your job, your past, that's all part of the costume. But the one watching the story unfold? That's the real you. Consciousness isn't interested in your resume. It knows you as the awareness behind the eyes, the quiet observer that's been there since day one, untouched by the roles you've played. It's like watching a movie and forgetting you're in the audience. You get so wrapped up in the character's drama that you think it's your own life. But take a breath. Step back. You're not the character. You're the screen the movie plays on. The ego makes noise, demands attention, creates problems. Awareness, on the other hand, just watches, patient, present, untouched. Ancient teachings nailed this thousands of years ago. The Vedas say Atman, your true self, is not separate from Brahman, the universal consciousness. That means you're not a separate wave in the ocean. You are the ocean pretending to be a wave. Try this. Every time you catch yourself reacting, ask, who's noticing this? That question alone begins to loosen the grip of the illusion. Most suffering comes from believing you are the identity you created. But once you see that you're the one noticing the thoughts, not the one thinking them, everything softens. The tension drops. Reality starts to feel lighter. And that shift opens the door to an even deeper truth about how your inner world builds your outer one. 6. Belief creates more than just feelings. It shapes the world. Let's get real. Belief is not some fluffy concept for motivational posters. It's the architect of your reality. Think about Joan of Arc. A teenager with zero military training leads an army based solely on what she believed. Whether the voices she heard were divine or imagined, what mattered was her unshakable certainty. That level of conviction bends the fabric of reality. Consciousness responds to inner clarity, like a magnet pulling events into place. You've probably seen it in your own life too. Ever decided something was definitely going to happen, and then it did? That wasn't luck. That was your inner world, making waves in the outer one. Belief doesn't just color perception, it builds the structure of your reality. It's like coding the software that reality runs on. Strong belief is clean, direct, and unwavering. It leaves no room for doubt, and because of that, the universe listens, want to see it in action. Start with something small but specific. For example, every week I attract one unexpected opportunity. Say it daily, visualize it clearly, and watch how your awareness starts picking up hints, signals, and synchronicities. It's not magic. It's consciousness recognizing its own command and organizing reality around it. It's like tuning a radio to the exact station you want to hear. Most people let their beliefs run on autopilot, powered by fear, trauma, or what society told them was realistic. But the moment you take the wheel and consciously choose what you believe, the game flips. And the more you believe in your power to shape reality, the more that power reveals itself, especially when the path starts to feel like a solo journey. 7. Awakening feels like being alone, but it's not isolation. Spiritual awakening can hit like a ton of bricks. One minute you're vibing with the crowd, the next it feels like you're the only conscious being in the room. But here's the twist. You're not alone because you've lost connection. You're alone because you're starting to see that everything is happening inside your awareness. That realization is huge. It's not loneliness, it's clarity. At first, it's weird. Friends still talk, but something feels off. You stop chasing approval. Old conversations lose their spark. Not because you're better, because you're seeing through the illusion of separation. You realize that the world isn't full of others. It's full of different reflections of the same consciousness you are. And that, my friend, changes everything. This stage can feel intense, like walking through a silent hallway where echoes of your old identity try to follow, but you're not buying it anymore. One way to stay grounded: spend time in nature, not to escape, but to remember. Trees don't ask who you are, they just reflect stillness. That stillness reminds you that being alone is simply being fully present with your own awareness. Eventually, the silence becomes comforting. You begin to enjoy your own company because it's not empty. It's full of life. That's when you realize what you thought was isolation is actually expansion. And in that expansion, a door opens. Not to another world, but to a hidden layer of this one. A layer that reveals why this whole life might not be the final chapter after all. 8. This world is not the final destination. It's preparation. If this life feels like a test sometimes, that's because it kind of is. Not a punishment, but a training ground. The ancient mystics were clear. We're not here just to pay bills and collect experiences. We're here to remember who we are and refine our consciousness. Kabbalists even call it the corridor before the real world. That hits different once you realize it's not poetry. It's instruction. Think of Earth as a cosmic boot camp. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every choice, it's all sculpting your awareness. The way you respond to life now determines how clearly you'll see beyond it. The more conscious you become here, the less fog there is when this physical experience fades. It's not about religion or dogma, it's about vibration, about the quality of your perception. This means your daily life isn't separate from your spiritual path. It is the past. Washing dishes, sitting in traffic, even small talk with strangers. All of it is part of your training. The trick is to do it with presence. Consciousness doesn't care if you're meditating on a mountain or waiting in line at the bank. It only cares whether you're awake in that moment or not. And when awareness becomes a lifestyle, something strange starts to happen. You begin to feel a world behind the world, subtle, quiet, but deeply familiar. It's not somewhere else. It's here, woven into every moment, waiting for you to notice. And once you do, it invites you deeper, not just to believe, but to experience what reality is really made of. If you want to elevate your vibrations and manifest with more ease, I have prepared something special for you. Click the link in the first pinned comment and join us in the journey of awakening your inner mage.